Boogie. What, I had to do it, for old time's sake. What's going on, guys? Joshua here. Last year I made a challenge video titled Halloween Challenge, Can You Beat Pokémon Shield with Only Ghost Type Pokémon? It was a Halloween challenge, if you couldn't tell from the name. And, well, this year, I'm gonna do the same thing with the most recent Pokemon game, Pokémon Scarlet. A very different feeling game due to it being, open world. It's spooky month, time to play Pokemon using only the spookiest Pokemon out there. We need to lay out the ground rules for this challenge, like always. Rule number 1, in combat I can only use Ghost type Pokemon. In this game it's extra important because if your rule for use is use at all, then that's a no, since neither Koraidon or Miraidon are Ghost type. Just like a Grass type challenge, if the Pokemon I'm using's Terra type is not Ghost, I'm unable to terrestrialize it. Rule number 2, no items in combat, excluding Pokeballs since I need to catch things. Held items and items outside of battle are okay. Rule number 3, no outside help. Once I get my starter, I can't do any more trading, except for evolving Pokemon. Finally, rule number 4, no picnics. If you watch my Grass type challenge, you'll know that my Pokemon survived due to friendship a lot, and that's because I did the Pokemon picnic thing a bunch, as I didn't think it would impact the run. Yeah, I was very wrong. With the rules set, let's begin. Just like literally every Pokemon challenge I've ever done, the beginning of the game is the same, and it's just waiting for the game to give me the opportunity to actually start the challenge. For a theme challenge like this, I try to make my character be in that theme, so I tried to make her like a ghost girl, and I think I did an okay job. Now you may be thinking that I have to choose Fuecoco, since it's final form with ghost type, right? Well, the thing is, while Skeledirge is ghost type and thus is viable for this challenge, Fuecoco and Crocolore are pure fire type and are not allowed. I'm totally not using this as an excuse to not use Skeledirge because I hate him and think he should go to hell. No, what are you talking about? I'm actually being serious. This was something I thought about a lot for starting this challenge. Anyway, I realized picking Fuecoco would be too much of a pain. I may have grinded 6 Pokemon in BDSP 20 levels off of Pokemon. I think they were 10 levels lower, but I'm not doing that here since I have a much easier solution. So after 70 minutes, no, that's not a joke, I get the ability to force my Pokemon to breed. I box Quaxly and transfer over a Ditto and the most Halloween-y Pokemon out there, Mimikyu. Funny story, when obtaining the eggs, I just let my controller joystick go since it has a tendency to get stuck. But then my mom called, so I ended up with 4 Mimikyu eggs. I'm gonna hatch all of these and pick the best one suited for fighting and get rid of the rest, like any good parent. To hatch the eggs, I go to my favorite place to hatch Pokemon eggs, somebody's bedroom. I'm glad I hatched all 4 because the 4th Mimikyu was the best and the others sucked. She has a bashful nature, so neutral stat gains. They also all started with Wood Hammer as a level 1 move. My old Mimikyu did not have Wood Hammer, and I didn't think it could learn Wood Hammer because it's level 1, and Wood Hammer is a strong move. That would have been so helpful against Nessus Dreadnought. But what's in the past is in the past. We're focusing on the big issue ahead. See, we're level 1. I don't think a level 1 Mimikyu is going to get us very far, so I have to grind. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, whenever I have to grind a level 1 Pokemon, I do it on Metapod in the wild area, since my Pokemon is a newborn, so they need to fight something that they can't fight back. However, Metapod isn't in Scarlet and Violet, so my only option is to fight wild Magikarp, who give me less experience. During this grind session, I check my Terra type and it's Fairy. This Mimikyu is the best suited for battle. Out of all her siblings, she's the one I picked for a Ghost type challenge, and I can't terrestrialize her. Costume is now level 10, so despite her not being as perfect as I originally thought, she's ready to take on the Paldea region. I, as her trainer, will guide this Mimikyu to greatness. But she's going to need some friends if she wants to conquer the Paldea region, and I have no plan. I want to try to use Pokemon I didn't use last year, other than Mimikyu, of course. And there is one Pokemon I can catch this early on. Gimmighoul. Gimmighoul is terrible though. Base start total of only 300, with good defense and special, low attack and HP, and horrendous speed. There is an upside though. Gimmighoul's evolution, Golden Girl, is really solid. 550 base stat total is really good, and actually the same as the legendary Pokemon Ogerpon and Urshifu. There is just one major roadblock for getting a Golden Girl. Evolving Gimmighoul into Golden Girl is a nightmare! To evolve Gimmighoul into Golden Girl, you need to collect 999 Gimmighoul coins and level it up. 999! That's a lot! And the only way to get those is by defeating Wild Gimmighoul or interacting with the Roman Gimmighoul. I personally think Golden Girl isn't worth all the hassle, but this is a challenge, and I'm trying to use Pokemon I didn't use last year, so... Fuck it, you're coming with me, Goldilocks. I know I just had a grind session, but I have another one. Katie's Teddiursa is level 15, and has a Terra boosted Fury Cutter. Goldilocks only has physical moves, despite being a special attacker, so he's basically useless. It's at the cost of him to beat 3 bug types in a row without terrestrialization, and one of them has assurance. Mimikyu is Ghost Fairy type, so she quad resists bug. I might be overthinking this, but I'm going to grind costume to level 20 and try the fight. One visit the Jellybird presence and a dead terrestrialized Mimikyu later, and I'm challenging Katie, the bug type gym leader. I equipped the Muscle Band to increase costume's physical power, since they don't sell spell tags yet. Katie leads with Nimble. Shadow Sneak has priority, so I'd almost kill it, but I didn't, so I got hit by Struggle Bug. However, Costume has a little trick when it comes to taking damage. It's kind of the whole point of the Pokemon. Disguise. Ever since Pokemon Sword and Shield, Disguise will protect the user from taking full damage on the first attack and taking 1/8 of its max HP instead. Disguise used to be better in Sun and Moon though. Back then, Disguise protected the user from all damage taken from the first move, but they changed it in Gen 8. That's not that big of a change since Disguise only works from the first turn. I'm seriously trying to get through a whole video without shedding on Sun and Moon, so let's talk about Katie's now dead Nimble after a second Shadow Sneak. Next is Tarantula. The first thing I do is click Run because of my controller drift. If there's anything I hate more than Sun and Moon, it's controller drift. Tarantula dies in 2 Shadow Sneaks, and after the terrestrialized Teddiursa. Now that I think about it, being unable to Terra isn't that bad. Being Ghost Fairy type, Costume takes a quarter damage from bug type attacks. The Fury Cutter wasn't hitting me with a normal 40 power, instead it was hitting me with 10 power instead. Yeah, it increases power every time it hits, but only hit twice due to it dying with 2 Shadow Sneaks. I guess I was wrong to worry. Katie was easy. Was she easier than in the Grass type challenge? I have no idea. I don't remember how that fight went because I didn't realize the recording wasn't running until her final Pokemon. Don't you just love taking your children to where they were conceived? I do. You know where this is going. Time to challenge the Stony Cliff Titan, Cloth. Cloth is only level 16, so both times, he was easy. Costume dances on Cloth's grave and we're off to Arlington. On the way there, I saw a Shuppet. Well, I said I have no plan, didn't I? Yeah, I accidentally killed it, so I went to look for another one and found a Drift Bloom. Your name is JJ. I then found another Shuppet, caught it, named it Marionette, and continued on. A quick grind leads me to the Grass Gym. I forgot to leave with JJ, so it's Costume against Patilli. That pronunciation is flawless. I taught Costume Pounce via TM and nearly killed Patilli, but left it with what has to be 1 HP, so it hit Sleep Powder. So Costume is sleeping, while Patilli is spamming Mega Drain. Costume woke up after 2 turns and killed it. Next is Smoliv, who I can't use Shadow Sneak on. Pounce seems to work though. Finally we have Sudowoodo. Pounce did way less damage to Sudowoodo due to having higher defense than the other two. Trailblaze does little damage, so after a short back and forth between Costume and Sudowoodo, die one. After the gym, I travel west. Arvin tries to tell me about the Open Sky Titan Bombardier. I just smash through it due to not really caring what he has to say. A few minutes later, Clevel and Cassiopeia try to explain how Team Star works, and at this point my A button must be in purgatory. The game expects me to deal with Team Star here so I can get to the next town, but I think I forgot the jump button exists because I just jump over the fence first try. The water type gym is too high level, so I head to the desert to grind and to think about what my final team is going to be like. What ghost type Pokemon can I use? Basculegion? Nope. White Stripe Basculegion is pure water type. Gengar and Chandelure? Nah, I used those two last year. I really wish I could use the grass ghost type Gourgeist, but she's not in the game. However, her counterpart, Trevenant, is. Trevenant is only in the Kitakami DLC, so I have to mash through, frankly, way too much dialogue. Stomp Carmen into the ground, travel across Kitakami trying to get to the Time of Swords as fast as possible. Forgot about the river that's just too long to clear at my current state, blocking the path. Flew back to the town, traveled up the mountain, only to jump off the peak and finally make it to the Time of Woods. When I got there, I found a fan type and realized they are level 50. Meaning, they won't listen to me until I have 6 gym badges. Since disobedient Pokemon are more disobedient the higher the level, this Phantom is basically dead weight. Literally. Well, I did come all this way, so f it, I'm catching her anyway. This Phantom was female, so I came up with the perfect nickname for a female Trevenant, Trina. Damn, I'm funny. Almighty Jack-o'-lantern from last year gives Trina the power to win lower level Terra Raid dens. Yeah, apparently obedience isn't a thing in Max or Terra Raid dens. I didn't know that. Phantom evolves via trading, so I better not get too attached to this thing, because I need to rely on the help of random internet strangers. Trina is probably going to level up before I can get 6 gym badges, so she's going to be sitting in the box for a while. Like how last year I used a Gourgeist named Jack-o'-lantern, and this year I'm using her counterpart Trevenant and Trina. I'm done grinding. Time to challenge the electric type gym. The first true battle with Nemona goes just as you expect. Woodhammer beats Rock Breath, Shadow Sneak beats Palmy, but I do get Paralyzed from Static. Finally is Coca-Cola, so I crystallize Marionette to whittle it down before it dies. He gets 2 Shadow Sneaks before he dies. Shadow Sneak in costume doesn't kill, and Disguise keeps my health up. Incinerate almost kills me after I hit another Shadow Sneak. Paralysis is nice to me, and I get to fire off another Shadow Sneak to win. Great battle, Nemona. Now piss off. Now I can challenge the electric gym leader, Ayano. First is Watchville. Sorry for the bad lighting. Then I get paralyzed from Spark. Nope, not doing that. Second try, I get hit by Pluck instead of Spark, so I killed it with 2 Shadow Sneaks. At first, I used Shadow Sneak on Belly Bolt, and then I realized that Woodhammer is much stronger, and I was correct. I then got paralyzed from Spark, but didn't miss my shot, so one last Shadow Sneak killed it. Luxio's Intimidate lowered my attack, so Shadow Sneak didn't do as much as it would have. Costume fell to a bite next afterwards. Marionette comes out, but Shadow Sneak leaves it with a sliver. Thankfully, Marionette survives the bite from Luxio and knocks it out. Ayano's final Pokemon is the one I was afraid of, Mismagius. Mismagius is an incredibly strong Pokemon for this particular gym, because only ability Mismagius can have is Levitate, meaning it's immune to ground, and Ayano terrestrializes it into an electric type, meaning it has no weaknesses. My plan is to have JJ and Goldilocks whittle it down and have Marionette go in for the kill. Mismagius starts by using Confuse Ray when JJ comes out, so I get a free hit. JJ actually survived the Hex and hits herself. She then falls to another hex. The only reason Goldilocks got any damage out is because Miss Magius used Confuse Ray again. It's up to Marionette to get the kill, but Miss Magius survives in red health and knocks out Marionette. So close. If JJ didn't hit herself, we would have won that. I start googling to see what I can do, and I learned that JJ is only one level from evolving. Drifloon is a solid Pokemon, so I raise her one level and challenge Ayano again when she evolves. My strategy is the same as last time. I have Costume take out Watcher and Belly Bolt, have him do as much damage as he can before Fates to Luxio, have Marionette take it out, use Goldilocks and JJ to wield down Magius, and have Marionette finish it off. Once this Magius comes out though, things go a little different. For one, this Magius went for Hexa right away instead of Confuse Ray against Goldilocks. And I have no idea what changed, but something changed. Yeah, Goldilocks down. So it's up to JJ and Marionette to win this for us. The plan is to have JJ, wield down with Magius, and then have Marionette finish the job. If you haven't figured out the reference, now you have. I used Drifloon in my Scarlet playthrough here on this channel, so I'm surprised that I forgot just how goddamn bulky Drifloon is compared to Drifloon. His Magius starts the fight with Confuse Ray, and I hit Shadow Ball, doing around half damage. Hex doesn't get me into yellow, and this is when I realized that if JJ doesn't hit herself, she could win. Guess what happened? JJ snapped out of her confusion the very next turn and landed a high-rolling Shadow Ball to knock out Miss Magius, giving us out the gym badge. I was considering getting rid of JJ for a later Pokemon on the run, but now I think I might have to keep her for that amazing victory. The Water-type gym leader ran to do gambling or whatever. I don't know how to explain how bidding works in the simplified way, but he forgot his wallet, so now it's my job to return it to him. I make a quick pit stop by the beach first because I have a new Pokemon to catch. I know I said I hate the Gen 7 games, and I do, but there is a few Pokemon in Gen 7 I love. Mudstale, Guzzlord, Primarina. But the Pokemon that's most important to the situation I'm currently in is Sandygast. I catch one and name it Palissa. Woodhammer makes quick work of Kofu's wannabe, so it's off to battle Kofu himself. He leads with Veluza. Does anyone else think Veluza could be an evolution for Barraskewda based on his design and name alone? Typing and stats say otherwise. Anyway, Veluza is Psychic type, so it's weak to Shadow Sneak. It took half damage. Funny thing is, this Veluza has Mold Breaker. He ended up hitting Costume with full power and didn't activate Disguise, meaning that when Wugtrio came out and his Mud Slap activated it instead. Mud Slap's a bit annoying since my accuracy fell, but I didn't end up missing Woodhammer and took out Wugtrio. Finally, it's Abominable. Woodhammer nearly killed it, but left it with such a small sliver. Costume finished due to recoil. Marionette comes out and finishes Abominable off with Shadow Sneak. I talked to Nurse Joy because I don't know where to go. And she tells me to go for the Dark-type Team Star boss. Oh! I genuinely forgot about Team Star. This won't be too hard. Gaiakomo, despite being a Ghost Type challenge, is super easy. Pounce does about half damage to Pawniard, Metal Claw activates Disguise, but Pounce takes it out next turn. Giga Revoom is out, and it's pure Dark type instead of Pawniard's Dark Steel, so Pounce is super effective. Revoom uses Metal Sound, lowering my special defense. Pounce is still super effective, so I keep using it. Even though my special defense is low, Snarl doesn't do a lot of damage. It's just a back and forth Pounce and Snarl fight to eventually win. Easy. Mela. She leads with Torkoal, and I lead with Palissa. Drought sets up the sun, so fire moves are more powerful. I top Palissa Earthquake via TM, and doesn't even get it to her to half health. By the time Torkoal faints, Palissa is deep into yellow health, so when the Giga Revoom came out, Palissa didn't even get a single hit. So my strategy is to throw my whole team at it so my stronger Pokemon can finish it with Shadow Sneak to win. Lucky Steel Titan time. Earthworm is a pure Steel type, and its ability removes its weakness to ground, so I can't hit him with any super effective moves. Since Costume is weak to Steel, she's letting Balloon go ahead of this one. Even Pokemon deserve a day off every once in a while. Arvin's Toad School is being completely useless, so after a couple Shadow Balls, I win. I know it wasn't that interesting, but the Titan battles are never that interesting. Much like Bootlegger. I walked all the way over here, leveling up my team, so they're a bit over-leveled. Especially Costume. Marionette easily beats Bootlegger's first phase, but for the second phase, it happened immediately after the first, so I didn't get a chance to heal Marionette, so I had JJ finish it for her. Bootlegger defeated. I'm trying to get all the major bosses out of the way before I travel more, and the only one left is Atticus, the Poison type Team Star member. First is Skunk Tank, who is only weak to ground. The damn thing barely survives Earthquake with what has to be 1 HP. If I had nickel for every time a Pokemon barely survived my super effective hits during a challenge run, I'd up the amount of money to $1 because it happens all the damn time. Pelissa fainted after being hit by 2 sucker punches. Great. My only stab super effective Pokemon is dead. Instead of restarting, I just decided to keep going, since I do not want to do the star raid again. Costume comes out and I learns a Shadow Sneak to finish it off. Next is a normal Rev Room, and I send out JJ to spam Shadow Ball and tank hits, because I know she can handle it. 2 Shadow Balls and an assurance later, Rev Room was down. I sent out Marionette for Muck, and in hindsight, that was probably the second dumbest thing I could have done. Marionette didn't stand a chance. A Shadow Sneak from Costumes cleans up the mess that is Muck. Last is the Giga Rev Room, and now I remember why I didn't plan on using Costume. Rev Room uses Flame Charge for some reason and breaks Disguise. He then uses Spin. Oh, that's why he used Flame Charge. Oh. Flash is doing very little, but it's my best option. Costume eventually falls. Goldilocks is out, but what can he do? Exactly 70 points of damage via Nightshade. I should put into perspective just how bad Gimme is for a casual playthrough. His move pool is terrible. His only good move is Shadow Ball via TM, and I can't get the Shadow Ball TM until after Rhyme. JJ is my last Pokemon left, and I was sure she was going to faint because Rev Room would do a lot of damage, and if that didn't kill her, the toxic damage will, because this Rev Room has toxic debris. But when JJ came in, she didn't get poisoned. I had forgotten that entry hazards don't affect flying or levitating Pokemon. Maybe JJ actually has a chance. Rev Room destroyed his speed by spamming Spin Out on Goldilocks, so he's spamming Flame Charge to get it back up. Flame Charge is much weaker than Spin Out, so I think the AI is programmed to use moves that boost its stat when that particular stat is low. That's great for me, because it means JJ gets to fire off super effective Psy Beams, finishing off the Giga Rev Room and winning the battle. I was shocked that this worked. We barely survived that last battle. It goes to show Costume and JJ are my only 2 Pokemon that can really fight. This huge flaw in my team will become obvious in the next city, Medali. We have to fight the normal type gym leader, Larry. Larry's Pokemon are all normal type, obviously, so my ghost moves won't work here. But neither will the normal moves, so I'm feeling pretty confident. Larry leads with Komala, and I think, well, using Woodhammer to brute force every battle isn't a good idea. So, Costume gets put to sleep by Yawn because Pounce isn't very good anymore. Komala got me to red health with sucker punches before I finally woke up and took it out. Next is Dunsparce, and I remember in my first playthrough of Scarlet, when I used Bella to Drift Limb, this Dunsparce never tried to use a move that hurt a Drift Limb. It's because this Dunsparce only has Hyper Drill, Drill Run, and Glare. His only damaging moves are Normal and Ground type, 2 types that can't hurt a Ghost Flying type like Drift Limb. Now sure, he can still paralyze me, but he can't hurt me, so it doesn't matter. What matters is the super hard hitting Staraptor that comes out right after. This thing knocked out JJ with Aerial Race, but that doesn't mean JJ didn't go down fighting. She fought until she fainted, and even did some extra damage due to her ability, Aftermath. I then had Marionette finish the fight with foul play. Normal type gym, done. For only a few minutes. Remember when I said that the huge flaw on our team would become obvious in the next city? Well, that's because of the rival fight. Nemona leads with Lycanroc, who hits Bite, but it's dispatched easily with Woodhammer. Makes sense. Palmer gets taken out by another Woodhammer, and Gumi hits the Water Pulse, but even with all the recoil from Woodhammer, Costume is still standing and takes out Gumi. That's when the problem comes out. Skeledirge. Our team cannot handle strong fire types. The only reason we beat Mela's Giga Rev Room was because we were over leveled. Here, we're not. This thing plows through our whole team because Torch Song gets stronger every time it hits because of the special attack increase. Marionette got into yellow, and my mum calls. The footage got cut off, but spoiler alert, it didn't end well since Marionette and Goldilocks are too underleveled to beat it. This is Skeledirge's revenge for all the hate I've given it. Damn, I hate karma. What was very dumb of me was to quit the game and reopen it to save my wallet like I always do. But since the battle comes right before the gym leader, I was loaded back to the last time I saved, which was before the battle with Larry. Meaning I have to do the whole Larry fight again! No, this can't happen again. There is no way I can beat Nemona's Skeledirge with my current team. If I continue now, I'll just get stomped by the singing crocodile again. I don't know if I have to win that battle, or what will happen if I lose and don't reset, but I'm sure I'll have to win to progress, just like the older games. The open world aspect of this game would make it pretty hard to block the player's progress if they lose the battle, since Nemona isn't blocking anything. And I'm not just gonna take the loss. No, I can't. I won't. I will not continue until my team can beat that Skeledirge. Because if they can't now, how bad is it gonna be like at the end of the game when he's much stronger? Here's my problem. The only answer to a Skeledirge is too weak to tank any hit from it, and too slow to outspeed and one-shot it. Hell, I don't even think if Palissa even got to attack Skeledirge, Earthquake would even take it out. Marionette and Palissa are too weak to be of any use. But their evolved forms are not. I bet that if I come back with a Palisand and Bayonet, I'll have smooth sailing for a while. There's just one small problem. I need to evolve Palissa and Marionette so that I can beat this rival fight. Shuppet evolves at level 37, so Bayonet is only 2 levels away. But Sandygast isn't going to be that easy, because Sandygast doesn't evolve into Palisand until level 42. I don't like big gaps between my Pokemon, so I'd have to grind everyone else up too. So that's exactly what I did. Grinding is not easy. Leveling up a team of level 35 Pokemon to 40 off-level Pokemon in the low 30s that give piss experience is annoying. But 3 of the 5 Pokemon can barely fight, so I have to use Costume to clean up the messes that left behind. This grind sucked, but I did it. Do I regret it? Possibly. I'll skip the Larry fight since you already know how that's going to go. And now on the second try with Nemona, I have a different strat. I lead with Costume, who this time is faster than Lycanroc and one-shots it with Woodhammer, just like before. I switched to Marionette for Palmel because if all else fails, I need Costume's disguise. Palmel fell to one-shot a ball. Gumi is out and puts up more of a fight, but that's because it actually got to attack. Dragon Pulse didn't do enough to kill, so Gumi is down. Finally, the Skeledirge, and I sent out Palissa. Palissa survives a terror-boosted Torch Song with more than half health remaining, but Torch Song's secondary effect is that it raises the user's special attack by 1 stage, so next turn Palissa will faint. An Earthquake from Palissa takes Skeledirge to low health, low enough that next turn I could swap in Costume to tank a Torch Song due to Disguise and beat Skeledirge with Shadow Sneak. Priority moves are the best, even if they're super weak. Well, that was one roadblock that came out of nowhere. But now that that's done, I travel south to head for the Psychic Gym. On the way to the Psychic Gym, I found a shiny Murkrow. I of course caught it because why wouldn't I? It's a full odds shiny Murkrow. It's not a ghost type, but a shiny Pokemon is more than noteworthy. As a PokeTuber, I am legally required to mention any and all shiny Pokemon I find. Before I battle Tulip, I have to go through her gym mission, which feels like it takes 10 minutes. It took 10 minutes. Now we battle Tulip. I don't know how people in the Pokemon world consider her hot. She does not look attractive whatsoever. She leads with Harassering, a psychic normal type. I foresaw this coming, so I had Marionette's out spam knockoff, a dark type move. This had the audacity to set up Reflect, meaning all my physical moves are heavily muffled. I wasn't fully awake at the time because this was a night I pulled an all-nighter, and also the night I recorded the security breach video. Eventually this douche knocks out Marionette. I was pissed because I should have thought about that, and I don't like Tulip in the first place because she reminds me of someone in 7th grade I really don't like. You know who you are, Shyla. Anyway, a Woodhammer from costume kills Goddamn Reflect! Flash finishes it. Reflect wears off as it faints, but Marionette fainted, so I want this girl's Pokemon dead. Esparta hits Shadow Ball and I hit Shadow Claw. To make sure I killed it with costume, I hit a Shadow Sneak for priority. Next is Anime Wife, Gardevoir. 2 Shadow Balls knock it out. Psychic does very little to me. Finally it's Florges, and she immediately kills Goldilocks. I'm really getting sick of this thing being an empty party slot. Pelissa is out and she gets critically hit by Moonblast. I was very upset. Earthquake does less than half. I'm tired. JJ is out and she hits a Shadow Ball before going down, leaving Florges with a sliver of health, and giving Costume the opportunity to come in from behind and get the victory with Shadow Sneak. How many times has that happened in this video? Now that Tulip is down, it's time to challenge the Quaking Earth Titan, Great Tusk. Since I have 6 gym badges, you all know what I'm doing. Trina will listen to me now. So I used her against Great Tusk, and I forgot he has knockoff. Trina isn't EV trained. She has no way of surviving a blow like that. Oops. You know what I'm doing. Costume spam Woodhammer. Why is this one move that I had no idea Mimikyu could even learn the most useful move any of my Pokemon have? Great Tusk pieces out of there, so I have to fight him again. Orange Pokemon are being useless first turn, traditionally, and I have Trina use Horn Leech. After she gets hit, I switch to Woodhammer, but Great Tusk is aiming for Arven's Pokemon. I got Great Tusk just so little health, but didn't want Trina to faint again, so I switched to Costume. She tanks a hit, she hits Shadow Sneak, I win. That's happened so many times, I'm going to start calling it the Shadow Sneak maneuver. But now, all the bosses in the southern part of Paldea are gone. Now, it's time for the bosses in the northern part of the Paldea. They are ripped. Okay, I lied. There's still the false dragon titan kicking, or I guess swimming, around, but that guy is super high level, so I think I should wait until later. There's no time like the present though, so I go online and take quite a long time to evolve Trina into Trefinite. I was worried my random trade partner wouldn't send Trina back, but it seems they have at least some common decency. It took about 10 minutes to find someone who didn't just want to trade legendaries, but eventually I found someone who sent me a Froakie. I had to double check if Trefinite was mine, and it was. On the off chance you're watching this, Santi, thank you. Anyway, we have to climb this icy mountain to progress to the ice gym. Grusha is way too strong for my team to handle, so I'd make a quick pit stop at the Pokemon Center and head off to the Ghost Town. Here lies Rhyme, the Ghost type gym leader, my true opponent. I wanted all my good Pokemon fully evolved and ready to go when I challenge her, so I'm very excited. What I'm not excited for was the Nemona battle I didn't see coming. If anything goes wrong, I'm going to blame the fact I was caught with my pants down. Nemona leads Lycanroc, and he's spamming Sand Attack. Shadow Claw doesn't miss, and even crits, but next turn, Shadow Sneak does miss. I was afraid I'd start missing like crazy, but even after 2 Sand Attacks, Costume managed to land another Shadow Sneak to knock it out. I switched to Pelissa for Palmot because Costume's accuracy is down, and I don't want him to start missing like crazy. But also because both of Palmot's stab types are not effective against a Ghost Ground type like Pelissa. In fact, I don't think the thing can even hurt Palissa because she went for Spark right away. Okay, I was right. It only has electric, normal, and fighting moves. This thing literally can't hurt Palissa. Also, why does her Skeledirge have Lick? Lick is a 30 power move that doesn't even get stab anymore. And this Skeledirge is level 43. And Skeledirge lets Shadow Ball, a much stronger move, at level 38. Champion rank trainer my ass. Anyway, next is Sagoo. So I have Marionette take it out with a combination of Shadow Ball and Shadow Sneak. Skeledirge is out and using Torch Song. Still leaves me in range to faint next turn. Earthquake does way less than last time, so switching into costume would have him take too much damage, so I'm sorry, Palissa. I switched to Marionette because, honestly, I don't know. I guess I thought a Terror boosted Shadow Sneak would be enough to kill Skeledirge. Shadow Sneak is very weak though, so Marionette didn't get the kill and ended up fainting. By this point, you should know that in a situation like this, it's up to costume to clean this up. That's right, we're actually reading it. This is a Shadow Sneak maneuver. Listen, Nemona, maybe the reason I keep beating you is because you're a terrible rival. Now that Nemona's done, I have to do the stupid gym mission. I really hate gym missions. It's just beat a bunch of trainers, and if you don't lose, you get to battle the gym leader. I mean, come on, man. If you're gonna do this, at least make it a maze or something. I already battled trainers. I beat several on the way here, so let me fight the damn gym leader. Rhyme was surprisingly easy. She uses Mimikyu and Bayonet. Her Mimikyu have Disguise because it's a Mimikyu, so I have Costume use Shadow Sneak to break Disguise. Mimikyu and Bayonet are ganging on JJ, leaving her with 20 HP. A Shadow Ball from JJ, you take Bayonet out. Rhyme sends out Houndstone, but Costume and JJ overpower both of her Pokemon with a combo of Shadow Sneak and Shadow Ball. It's my 2 Pokemon versus her 1 Toxtricity. I predicted a Discharge, so I switched JJ out to Palissa, who is immune to Electric. Even if it did use Discharge, Shadow Sneak from Costume kills it in 1 shot. I wasn't expecting Costume to be faster than Toxtricity since Electric types are usually very fast and Costume is not the fastest Pokemon in the game. After the battle, Rhyme gives me Shadow Ball as a reward, but there is another move I need. The next major boss in my level range is Grusha, the Ice-type gym leader. There's one small problem, because of course there is. Nothing about this challenge is easy. I have 6 Pokemon. 3 of them are weak to Ice, 1 of them is completely useless, and the other 2 can actually battle, but they can't learn a move that's good against an Ice type. Well, there is one move, Burning Jealousy. Burning Jealousy is a 70 power, 100 accuracy fire move that is literally the only move that's super effective against Ice that Costume and Marionette can learn. The problem is, Burning Jealousy is a special attack, but Costume and Marionette are physical attackers. Costume is a physical attacker, so Burning Jealousy is not a good choice for her. But what else can I do? Plus, Grusha's first Pokemon is Frostmoth, who is double weak to fire. Even if Costume's special attack is lower, that should be enough to kill it, right? Right? Burning Jealousy TM can be found in Kitakami in the Fellhorn Gorge. Well, that's annoying because I can't climb yet, but I need this TM. After 10 minutes of swimming around and looking it up, I did find the TM and came up with a plan. However, the plan would require the combined efforts of all my Pokemon, so I need to level them all up. Again. My next grinding spot is in the Socrates Trail. I eventually realized that Slacking, a Pokemon on the same level as Kyogre and Groudon, can't fight back because they only have normal and fighting moves. So that's a lot of EXP when they spawn, every few years. At some point in the grind, Costume tried to learn Play Rough, but I decided I'll wait until after Grusha is down before teaching her that move, since I need Burning Jealousy for this fight and this fight alone. I grind until everyone is level 50, except Goldilocks, and challenge Grusha. Like I said, Grusha leads with Frostmoth, who barely survives Burning Jealousy from Costume. That actually surprised me. Frostmoth uses Tailwind, meaning Grusha's whole team is 2 times faster for the next 4 turns. Even if they're faster, priority moves are still priority moves. Frostmoth goes down, and next is Beartic, and I switched to Trina because my plan is my plan. Not only did Beartic go first because of Tailwind, he critically hit, knocking Trina out in 1 shot. What the f***? Icicle Crash breaks Costume Disguise, and I hit Shadow Claw. Tailwind ended, so Grusha's team is no longer at double speed. Like I said, Shadow Sneak will always go first regardless of speed, so we're halfway through. I send JJ out for Titan and Shadow Ball does less than half. Meanwhile, Ice Spinner does, oh my god! After that, Titan hit Ice Shard, which actually has +1 priority and took JJ out. I've been doing that the whole playthrough, and now the game is giving me a taste of my own medicine. Marionette is on the field, but his best option is to use physical moves, and Titan's physical defense is higher than his special, so even with all the knockoffs, Marionette fell to the same Ice Spinner and Ice Shard combo. Is Grusha a combo or something? The super strong move and then priority move combo I've been using the whole challenge is being used against me and I do not appreciate it. I used Shadow Claw, but I should have gone with Shadow Sneak instead. Titan decided not to use Ice Shard, so it's on to Artalia. I will not stop finding the irony hilarious. I switched to Goldilocks, not expecting her to be able to do much, but she actually survives Hurricane and hits Nightshade for 47 damage on Artalia. I swear, every time I'm in a rough spawn I don't expect Goldilocks to do anything, he somehow proves me wrong. Anyway, he fainted next turn. I sent Palissa out and somehow she survives a super effective Terra boosted Ice Beam so she can fire off an Earthquake before fainting. Am I actually going to win this? Costume is our last hope, and if she's faster than Artalia, we win, and guess what? Costume was faster than Artalia and hit a Shadow Claw to take her out, win the battle. Oh my god, that was stressful. We now have all 8 gym badges, so the Elite Four is available to us. But Rika's Pokemon are level 57 and 58, so I'm definitely not doing that. I'm just going in order of which boss is the lowest level and easier, so I have to travel down the mountain to challenge Ortega. Star Raid is easy because they're never not. I actually don't think it's possible to fail these unless you're intentionally trying to. Ortega, the Fairy type Team Star boss, isn't the hardest fight we've done, but he's definitely not the easiest. I barely had to think for battling Guy Komodo. Ortega leads with Azumarill, who is weak to Trina's Horn Leech. I'm 5 levels higher than it and using a stab super effective move, and it survives on what has to be 1 HP. Azumarill used Charm afterwards, so I used Phantom Force to save power points, and Azumarill used Bounce. Both Phantom Force and Bounce are 2-turn moves, and since I'm faster, my move will miss, but his will not. Bounce is super effective and dealt massive damage. I taught Trina Poison Jab because I thought she'd be able to handle Azumarill with 1 Horn Leech, but I forgot I'm doing a challenge run. Next is Darkspawn, and I forgot to switch out and switch it back in when given the free opportunity, so I need to sack off Goldilocks. It was a good choice too because Darkspawn used Baby Doll Eyes when Goldilocks came out, so if I didn't switch, Trina's attack would be down 3 stages. That's 3 too many. Darkspawn uses Crunch, but Goldilocks survives and hits a 47 damaging Nightshade before going down next turn. Trina's back out and survived Crunch with 14 HP. Poison Jab leaves Darkspawn with, you gotta be f***ing kidding me. I'd already had a rough day that day due to non-Pokemon related reasons, and I was about to flip out when Trina was taken out by another Crunch. Costume comes out and executes a Shadow Sneak maneuver, so Ortega sends out Wigglytuff, who is normal Fairy type, so my Ghost moves won't hurt it. And Trina's my only Pokemon who has Poison moves. Oh, you thought I wasn't prepared for this? I taught Palissa Flash Cannon, a steel move, and super effective against Fairy. The Giga Reverie is out and uses Magical Torque right off the bat instead of Steel Roller, so Palissa gets the Flash Cannon off. Next turn, uses Steel Roller. I use Flash Cannon because I'm a Palo fan. What else am I supposed to do? Palissa gets confused from Confuse Ray, but she doesn't miss any of her turns. And just as Reverie was on the brink of fainting, he must have gotten a high rolling Magical Torque because I don't think Palissa should have fainted from that. Costume is out and gets hit by Confuse Ray, as I instantly get flashbacks from my last Scarlet challenge. Remember that? Magical Torque has a 30% chance to confuse me, and of course I hit myself. Revolume hits me with Confused Ray, so I'm confused. I hit myself in confusion, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And after the third, Magical Torque knocked out Snowball. Costume hit herself, and confusion damage actually breaks disguise, which I didn't know. Costume hit herself again, and I'm just so done with it at this point, so I switched to Marionette, Terrestrialize her, and finished the fight off with a Terra Boosted Shadow Ball. Was that a Shadow Ball maneuver or something? There's only 2 bosses left, the False Dragon Titan and the Fighting type Team Star boss. Eri is as intimidating as a Gyarados, so I'm battling the really big fish. Water type, so Trina beats it easily. Dondozo's second phase is also really easy because Dondozo decided not to take out the only threat to him and attacked Arvin's Greedent. Tatsugi is out because False Dragon Titan, so first turn I use Woodhammer. Another thing has Icy Wind, so next turn I use Phantom Force and Tatsugi uses a move even worse. Muddy Water. Thankfully, Muddy Water is only 85% accurate, so it misses. It misses me, that is. Arvin's Greedent gets hit by it, and it was even a crit. What are the odds of that happening? Muddy Water missing me, hitting Arvin's Greedent, and critically hitting his Greedent. I Terrestrialized Trina and used Phantom Force. Tatsugi is faster than me, and I was afraid he'd hit Muddy Water, and I'd miss Phantom Force because that's just my luck. But the idiot used Dragon Pulse for some reason, and I took it out. Tatsugi tried to use Muddy Water when I was in the vulnerable turn of Phantom Force, so it missed. Maybe you should have done that in the other order, you stupid fish. Arvin's Mabosniff is fully healed. Sada calls him to the lighthouse. I don't really care about what's happening. I know I'm not going to win this battle, but I want to try to see how far I get against Arvin. Arvin leads with Greedent, so I use Woodhammer, but after I get hit by Psychic Fangs, I'm not comfortable with Woodhammer, so I use Horn Leech and Poison Jab finishes it off. Next is the Grass-type Skull villain, so I send out the Flying-type Drifter, who gets hit by Crunch because everything has a fucking dark move. First turn, I use Air Cutter, and somehow I'm faster, so a critical Psychic takes it out. I'm not sure if the crit was necessary, but why do I seem to get more crits in casual playthroughs? Golganko was out, so I switched to Trina to hit Horn Leech, and if I didn't, Stone and Edge would have taken me out. I was hoping I'd get a crit or high damage roll, since I've not gotten many this playthrough. I can't tell if this challenge is hard or I'm just unlucky. I swear I get more crits in normal playthroughs without Friendship. Marionette is out, pulls a Shadow Sneak maneuver, and learns Phantom Force immediately after. Next is Toadscrew, who hits Power Whip and gets hit by Phantom Force. And I was expecting it to take me out, so I tried to do as much damage as possible. But Toadscrew uses Spore instead, so I'm asleep. Or am I? That's right, Marionette's ability is Insomnia, so he wakes up and takes out Toadscrew with another Shadow Sneak. That was not intentional. I forgot Marionette has Insomnia. Next is Cloyster. This guy took out Marionette and Goldilocks, only for Costume to come in, miss play rough because 90 accuracy, and then finish it off. Finally is Mabosniff, and this thing swept the rest of my team with Terra Boosted Crunches. That's okay. I still have one more major boss to take out. I walk over to the Fighting type team, Star Boss, grinding my team, and challenge Eri. While grinding, I replace Palissa's Earthquake with Earth Power because her special attack is higher. Eri leads with Toxicroak, one of my least favorite Pokemon of all time. JJ knows Psychic, which is quad 2 effective, so after getting hit by Sucker Punch, Toxicroak faints. I will mention now that I was really pissed off because of my controller drift, like hell, during the Star Raid, and my camera fell, so I wasn't in the best mood when the Lucario came out. I knew an Earth Power from Palissa would one-shot it, so I click Earth Power, and I get hit by Dark Pulse, and flinch. Nope, I'm not doing that. Second try at Eri. Toxicroak goes the same way. This time, Lucario doesn't flinch me with Dark Pulse, and I was right about Earth Power killing it. If Palissa flinched, I would have stopped playing for the day. That's how freaking mad I was. Next is Passimian, who is somehow slower than JJ and knocks her out with Rock Tomb. Marionette is on the field and he gets hit by Seed Bomb, but takes the Simeon out with Side Beam and Shadow Sneak. Next is Annihilate, the one I was afraid of. Rage Fist takes out Marionette, and I switch to Trina to hit a Terra-boosted Phantom Force to surprisingly one-shot it. The Giga Reverend is out, so I use Phantom Force as it uses Shift Gear. It has Stamina. Well, that's annoying. Somehow Spin Out doesn't kill me, so I get another Phantom Force off before Trina goes down. Reverum wrecked its speed by using Spin Out, so Pelissa gets an Earth Power off before also going down. You see the pattern here? Goldilocks hit Nightshade, Shift Gear, Spin Out, you know how this goes. Time for my ace. Costume. Costume is the only one left, but Reverum broke the pattern for some reason as I hit Play Rough twice. Because of Stamina, I didn't kill it and left it with like 5 HP. Shadow Sneak Maneuver, the best strategy in the game. I win. After the battle, Sapphire reveals she is the true boss of Team Star and wants to fight to end it all. I don't think there's a single person on Earth who was surprised by this. I grind everyone to level 60 because although Sapphire herself won't be that hard, Clevel is first attempt at direct to Clevel and it does not go well. First of all, my Pokemon are underleveled. Second of all, he uses Oranguru, whose only attacking move that will affect Marionette is Foul Play. Oh no. Foul Play is a Dark type move that uses the target's attack stat to deal damage instead of the user's. Marionette's attack stat is really high, so it does massive damage. Nair Slash from JJ takes it out. Next to Obama Snow, whose ability is Snow Warning, setting up the snow. Air Cutter does only half, and Obama Snow sets up Aurora Veil. That's really bad, since Aurora Veil is basically using Reflect and Light Screen in the same turn, as long as Hail is up. JJ crits Air Slash and takes out Obama Snow since crits bypass stat changes and stuff like Aurora Veil. Next is Gyarados, but because of Aurora Veil, none of my moves would do much damage. Disguise keeps Costume's health up from Aqua Tail first turn, but next turn, he crits and almost kills Costume. The critical Shadow Claw does a lot of damage, but doesn't even kill, so Costume is dead. Yeah, no, I need to get stronger. I didn't think I'd win, didn't come close. My problem is my Pokemon are strong, but their move pool is horrible. Second try with everyone at level 60 at least. Marionette can take out Oranguru because I taught him Sucker Punch, which is slightly stronger than Knockoff. This time, Clever sends out Poltergeist, who I remember is slightly frail, so I click Sucker Punch, but Sucker Punch is kind of a weird move. Sucker Punch is a priority move that only works if the target uses an attacking move. Since Poltergeist is Will-O-Wisp, Sucker Punch failed. When your Pokemon is burned, its attack stat is halved, so next turn, Sucker Punch does hit, but it does significantly less damage than it would have normally. Sucker Punch did activate Poltergeist's ability, Weak Armor, lowering its defense and raising its speed. Costume comes out and executes a Shadow Sneak maneuver to take out the -1 defense Poltergeist. Next to the Bombs now, and I actually have a strategy for this guy. I send out Goldilocks, who is holding a Focus Sash, an item that will leave the holder with 1 HP if they are hit by an attack that would normally kill them at full health. Obama Snow sets up Snow with Snow Warning, and then sets up Aurora Veil, just as predicted. Goldilocks may not be able to do much damage, but she can do 53 with Nightshade. Next turn, Obama Snow hit Blizzard because Snow, and it normally would have killed Goldilocks, but thanks to the Focus Sash, he hangs on with 1 health and does another 53 damage before going down. That's 3 turns of Aurora Veil wasted. JJ is out, and of course Air Cutter doesn't kill. Blizzard does massive damage, and Ice Shard has priority, so JJ is dead. The Snow and Aurora Veil ended at the same time, allowing Costume to hit a Shadow Claw and take it out. Next is Houndoom, and I send out Pelissa. I was hoping Houndoom doesn't crit or flinch Pelissa with Dark Pulse, and luckily, it doesn't, so Earth Power takes it out. Gyarados is out, but I don't switch because Gyarados' Intimidate lowers Pelissa's attack. I didn't expect Pelissa to do anything, but I can't have Costume's attack stat lowered now, can I? 3 Shadow Claws take Gyarados down, but Aqua Tail leaves Costume with very low health. finally is Meowscarlet, who tanks Shadow Sneak really well. If I used Shadow Claw, I don't know if I would have hit due to Meowscarlet being very fast and Costume being at low health. Costume falls to a Shadow Claw from Meowscarlet. It's a one-on-one at this point, Trina versus Meowscarlet. Meowscarlet crits Trina with Shadow Claw, but Poison Jab doesn't kill, so another Shadow Claw, and I lost. I can't help but think I would have won if Meowscarlet didn't crit. One more time at level 65, even Goldilocks. I'm gonna skip all of Clever's Pokemon and go straight to Meowscarlet. Meowscarlet is doing a lot less damage this time against Trina. Meanwhile, Poison Jab is doing so much more since I tried to EV train my team's attack, but may have overdone it a bit. Palissa is now a physical attacker. Since Meowscarlet can't kill me without a second turn or maybe a crit, Poison Jab finishes it off, winning the battle. What else am I supposed to do but challenge the big boss of Team Star, Sapphire, who was revealed to be Penny the whole time. Penny's gimmick is using a full team of evolutions, starting with Emo Eevee. I have Costume out first to cure it with Play Rough, but Emo Eevee has Baby Doll Eyes dropping my attack, and my first Play Rough missed. God, I hate 90 accuracy moves. Baby Doll Eyes hits again, so when Play Rough finally connects, it hits with half the damage it normally do. Emo Eevee stops using Baby Doll Eyes, so I keep using Play Rough, and its Dark Pulse breaks Disguise. Now, I'm not sure why, but I decided to use Shadow Sneak next turn when it obviously wouldn't kill, since my attack stat is down by 2 stages, and Shadow Sneak is weak and resisted. Should have gone for Slash or something. Because of my stupidity, Emo Eevee gets another hit off before fainting. Next is Fuzzball, who also has Baby Doll Eyes. In fact, Penny's whole team has Baby Doll Eyes. Luckily, Fuzzball isn't the evolution with the super high defense. Why is it Leafeon? So Earthquake still takes it out since Flareon has really bad defense actually. Next is Vappy against Trina, and of course Baby Doll Eyes. So it survives Hornleech. I guess Penny realized another Baby Doll Eyes would be irrelevant, so she goes for Aurora Beam, which does very little. One more Hornleech takes it out. Next is Leafeon, who uses Baby Doll Eyes right off the bat, but for that, she's a fool, because JJ is a special attacker. So Air Cutter is unaffected and is able to one-shot. Next turn I go for Psychic for the accuracy and kill it. Next is Pokey Eevee, who falls to an Earthquake since Baby Doll Eyes ain't gonna do nothing! Now on to Penny's final Pokemon. The Pink Ribbon Eevee, who supports people with breast cancer and whom I am giving an overly long name to finish a joke I don't know how to finish other than in a way that doesn't involve referencing an inside joke no one else will understand but me. The Pink Ribbon Eevee, who supports people with breast cancer and whom I am giving an overly long name to finish a joke I don't know how to finish other than in a way that doesn't involve referencing an inside joke no one else will understand but me. Actually manages to kill Trina with Moonblast, so I send out Goldilocks, still holding the Focus Sash. Not that that mattered anyway, since all Penny did was use Baby Doll Eyes, which doesn't affect Goldilocks' Nightshade. So Goldilocks actually manages to take it out. I think that's the first knockout Goldilocks has gotten the whole game. Right now, at least. Her true power will be realized soon. We have one more heart-to-heart talk with Penny before she ends the mission she gave us and sprints up the stairs, back to the academy. Goodbye, gamer girl. See you in a few minutes. Anyway, I decided it's a good time for a rematch against Arven. I taught Trina Drain Punch for the sole purpose of taking out Arven's Greedent, and maybe something else down the line. Might happen, we'll see. Greedent is very bulky, as we saw from my last challenge run, so it survives Drain Punch and hits Psychic Drains. It does very little because of how much I had to overlevel just to beat Cuphead. One more Drain Punch beats Greedent, hitting me by 28 HP. Neat. Next is Skullvillain, who barely survived Air Cutter from JJ, because of course it did. So, next turn, I go for Psychic for the accuracy. Next is Garganko versus Trina, but Garganko barely survives Hornleech and sets up Stealth Rock. One more Hornleech kills it. Toadstool is out, so I keep in Trina because grass types can't be hit by Spore. That was a big mistake. Sludge Bomb does so little even though it's super effective, so I take out Toadstool with Phantom Force, and Poison Jab since Sludge Bomb does so little. I completely brain farted and kept Trina out for Cloister next turn. How do you think this is going to end? Marionette is somehow faster than Cloister and hits 2 Phantom Forces to take it out. Last for the passive Legends is Costume vs. Marble Sniff. It only took 2 play roughs since Disguise is a really fun ability. We're not done yet though. We still have Victory Road to take down. First is Ground Trainer Rika, and wow, I should have done this sooner. Wish Cash is double weak to grass, so of course Trina one-shots it. But next is Camerupt, who is fire type, so I have to switch out to Pelissa to one-shot it with Earthquake. Third is Dugtrio, who sets up Sandstorm and dodges Trina's Horn Leech because of Sand Veil. Trina takes Dugtrio out next turn. Dawnfan is out and survives Horn Leech because of Sturdy, but misses Stone Edge as if that'd do any damage. So I take it out next turn. Last is Clodsire, so I terrestrialize Trina in the event Clodsire uses a poison move. Clodsire uses Protect, taking a power point away, but other than that, he never got to hurt me. Grass types are the best. Next is Tiny Baby / Steel type trainer Poppy. Pelissa one-shots Caparaja with Earthquake. Corviknight survives a Thunder from JJ, but just use Iron Defense so JJ finishes it with Shadow Ball. Pelissa is back out from Magnezone, who survives Earthquake because of Sturdy, but just sets up Light Screen to protect against the 0 special moves I'm using, so I take it out with Flash Cannon. Then comes out Bronzong, who Pelissa can't hit with ground moves, so I set up JJ to hit Shadow Ball, which is a special attack. I wasn't in any danger since Shadow Ball lowered Bronzong's special defense, allowing JJ to two-shot it, but I should have thought that went through. Last is Tinkaton, who does massive damage with Gigaton Hammer, but Pelissa one-shots it with Earthquake. The first 3 trainers this particular Elite Four are ridiculously easy since Ground and Steel have very common weaknesses to Grass and Ground. However, the next trainer, Flying Trainer Larry, isn't usually as easy. Larry leads with Tropius, who is weak to poison being a grass type, yet still barely survives, sets up the sun, making it faster and able to hit a super effective air slash against Trina. Are you kidding me? Another poison jab killed the sadly underwhelming Tropius. Next is Staraptor, and imagine being Larry's ace in the battle more people will get to, only be his second Pokemon in the stronger battle. Anyway, I send out JJ to try for Thunder because she has a zoom lens, but the sun makes Thunder less accurate, so it misses. Next turn, I go for Psychic because, knowing my luck, I'm going to miss 5 Thunders before I get a 20% chance to hit. But Staraptor finishes off JJ with Brave Bird right after. However, JJ's ability is Aftermath, dealing damage when she faints, so she managed to take Staraptor down with her. Since both of our Pokemon fainted in the same turn, I don't know what Pokemon Larry's about to send out, so I have to guess. He sends out Oricorio, and I send out Marionette. One Fender Force and Shadow Sneak later, the bird nobody gives a shit about is dead. Seriously, why does this thing exist? Next is Ortalia, who is Dragon type, so Costume takes it out with Play Rough. Last is Flamigo. Flamigo survives Shadow Claw with about half health and hits close combat on Costume because his ability is Scrappy. One more Shadow Claw later, Larry is down. Larry is the hardest Elite Four member in Paldea, since House Soul is really easy. Dragon Trainers are never that hard in any challenge I've done so far, and this one is no exception. They're so easy, I play Carnival Kerfuffle from Cuphead just to show you how much of a clown these guys are. He's with Noivern, who is obviously faster than Costume because it's a Noivern. But he can't handle one of Costume's powerful stab play roughs. It did break Disguise with Air Slash though. Haxorus is out and has Mold Breaker as an ability, meaning he can hit Costume with Dragon moves. Still die in one play rough. Next is Regalgy, who is Poison type, meaning I have to switch to Pelissa to one-shot it with Earthquake. Next is Flapple, who is weak to Poison, so I send out Trina to tank a Dragon Rush and one-shot it with Poison Jab. Last is Excalibur versus Costume, who survives Play Rough with a tiny sliver, but if you remember, Costume still has Shadow Sneak, so after a weak Icicle Craft hit her, she took it out and won the battle. That battle took less than 4 minutes. Hassel was very easy, but again, most Dragon Trainers are. Dragon is a horrible type. I don't hate Hassel though. I love the characters who are meant to be intimidating but are actually goofy and supportive, so he's on my good side. Now it's time to battle top champion Geeta, and I was just screaming at the game to let me battle her as fast as possible. Geeta leads with Esparta, the Karen. Esparta is Psychic type for some reason, and hits Lumina Crash, doing a little damage. Ghost is strong against Psychic, so down goes Esparta. Next is King Gambit vs Palissa. Cowtown Cleave does a lot of damage, but Earthquake is a super strong move, taking King Gambit down in one hit. Veluza is somehow faster than Trina, but is super weak, so Horn Leech takes it out. Next is Avalugg, and I kept Trina in for one reason or another, but even with 2 Drain Punches dealing lots of damage, Avalugg is just too tanky and knocks her out. Marionette is on the field and finishes Avalugg off with Sucker Punch. I switched to JJ for Go-Go, who obviously can't do much against a flying type, so 2 air cutters, Go-Go is now Gone Goat. Last is Glamora, and I sent out Costume for a fun starter versus champion ace matchup. First turn, Glamora hits Dazzling Gleam for one reason or another, and not a poison move, but disguise. I'm faster and use Shadow Claw, so unless she uses some uber powerful poison move, I'll be fine. Next turn she uses a rock type Terror Blast, doing quite a bit of damage, but not enough to make Costume faint, so she pulls out the victory, meaning we are now champions. Now that we're champions, the challenge is officially over. Nemona wants a champion ranked battle, her full strength versus mine. Let's see how it went. Nemona leads with Lightning Rock, and I lead with Trina to try and kill it before it gets a chance to set up Stealth Rock. Now, I forgot just how slow Trevenant is and how fast Lightning Rock is in comparison, so it set up Stealth Rock anyway before falling to Horn Leech. Next is Gudra, who is incredibly bulky but still falls to 1 play rough. Good start. There is Earthworm, so I switched to Trina because I'm not making that mistake again. Uh-oh. Yeah, eat this. Earthworm hits 2 Iron Tails in a row because, of course, but it can't handle 2 Drain Punches from Trina in response. Next is Palmot, who can now hit Palissa with a move, Ice Punch, god damn it. 1 critical Earthquake takes it out, but I doubt the crit was necessary. I sent out Trina for her 3-segment Dead on Sparse. It misses Dragon Rush, so 2 Train Punches takes it out. At least she didn't do something stupid as she did last time. Last is Skeledirge, and Nemona finally got smart and taught Skeledirge Shadow Ball, and it one-shot Palissa. Damn! I switched to Marionette to hit a Terra-boosted Phantom Force, but didn't quite kill, so I thought Marionette was going to faint. But she survived Shadow Ball with 2 health, and finished off Skeledirge with a Terra-boosted Shadow Sneak, winning the battle. Nemona has a small baby fit, but that doesn't last long, meaning we're done with Victory Road. Since all 3 missions are complete, Arvin tells us he found some people to go into the Great Crater of Paldea with us. But there was still one more thing left to do. You see, my original plan was to replace Goldilocks with the Paradox Pokemon Fluttermane when we get to the Great Crater of Paldea. But I realized that Fluttermane is Ghost Fairy type, which overlaps with Costume, who is definitely not going anywhere. I think it's time for Goldilocks to finally become useful. It took a few minutes of aimlessly wandering around, trying to find the last chest form Gimmighoul I needed, but I eventually did find one just sitting here, and evolved Goldilocks in the Golden Girl. I feel so good that now one of my oldest teammates finally evolved and became useful. Look at his stat increase. Now let's go finish this challenge. The Great Crater section is really cool and fun for casual playthrough, or for lore reasons, but during a challenge run, it's just a 40-minute walking simulator with occasional battles to spice things up. It's especially bad when you have a drifting controller and your character stops every 20 seconds. My controller is old, okay? At the end of this long haul is a battle against AI Sada, who wants to bring an end to the time machine because primal Pokemon walking the earth is apparently a bad thing? I get where they're coming from, but does Game Freak even play their games? Sada leads with Slitherwing. If it wasn't obvious already, Sada and her violet counterpart Torel, I think that's how you say his name, only use a full team of Paradox Pokemon, so yeah, quite dangerous. Slitherwing is double weak to flying, so I go for Air Cutter, and of course it barely survives. What did you think? I was going to one-shot it? Ha! No. Then Headbutt does a third, so one more Air Cutter does the job. Next is Flutter Mane, so I send out Goldilocks, being Steel type now. Shadow Ball does a hell of a lot of damage, leaving Goldilocks with just 42 HP. But because she survived, she could knock out Flutter Mane with a signature move, Make It Rain. Next is Boot Bonnet, who takes a ton of damage from Trina's Poison Jab. But I forgot he has payback. Trina just got hit by a 250 power attack, if I did my math right. Yeah, she fainted. JJ is out, but gets hit by Sucker Punch, fainting immediately. God, Boot Bonnet has high attack. Goldilocks is out, but Boot Bonnet decided not to use Sucker Punch for some reason, so Dazzling Gleam killed it. Yeah, I completely reworked Goldilocks' moveset, so he's pretty strong. Next is Magneton with anime hair. What the fuck is this thing? So I send out Palissa, who is immune to electric. Sandy Shocks, Magneton with anime hair, is faster, of course. I'm a pile of sand. So it hits Earth Power, doing below half damage. Giga Drain does above half, so another one takes it out, healing me in the process. Fit the Screamtail, who is play rough on Marionette and lowers his attack. Meaning Phantom Force did a lot less than normal. A second play rough doesn't lower my attack, so another Phantom Force takes it out. The last Pokemon of the challenge is out. Rolling Moon, who is holding Booster Energy. A Booster Energy activates the user's ability if it's Photosynthesis or Quick Drive, increasing their highest stat by 30%. Rolling Moon's highest stat is attack, so it'll hit hard. That's why I switched to the Disguise Ready costume, who gets hit by Earthquake, breaks Disguise, and actually took super little damage, so one-shot it with a quad super effective play rough, winning the battle and by extension the challenge, since the Koraidon vs. Koraidon match afterwards doesn't count. Welp, that was harder than expected. Last year, my ghost types didn't struggle nearly as much this year. I guess it's because my Pokemon were overall stronger and had better type coverage. Painting the Renorigas carried that team through most of the early game after he evolved. Spoopy the Gengar hit hard. Candle the Chandelure had strong fire moves. Jack-O-Lantern the Gourgeist was an unkillable wall. I never realized how strong my old team was until now. Costume was MVP of this team this year, no doubt. She was like the older sister coming in to help her siblings if they got in trouble. Goldilocks was useless for 95% of the playthrough because I just couldn't replace him. JJ was really good early game when she evolved. Trina was virtually useless for 50% of the playthrough because she wouldn't listen to me. And Palissa and Marionette were just happy to be here. This challenge was hard for a weird reason. Most of my Pokemon are relatively strong, but their type coverage was horrible. And that's bad when there's a major boss for every type. This was hard, but definitely fun. I'd rank this as my second hardest challenge I've ever done, only being beaten by my single Pokemon challenge in Shield with Tyra the Routes. I've been planning on retaking all the voiceovers for that saga, so you don't have to have your eardrums burst watching it. But I'm not going to do that until later. I hope this becomes a tradition. I'm thinking next Halloween I'll do this in Brilliant Diamond. But I think it'd also be fun to eventually do this challenge in Violet or Sword with a different team. Probably not Sword because B. What challenge do I do next? I'm thinking of like a solo wishy-washy challenge in Shield or Ice types in Brilliant Diamond as like a Christmas thing. Or Let's Go with only Route 1 Pokemon. There's not much I can really do with Let's Go, unfortunately. But whichever one I do, I hope you'll enjoy it. I had to rush to get this challenge done at the end because I got stuck in family stuff, then got sick, so I had to take 4 days off. And 31 days isn't a lot of time for a Gen 9 challenge, due to how honking long the game is compared to Gen 8 and 7. I hope you enjoyed this challenge. This video got way longer than I thought it would, which is why I decided not to do the post-game and DLC since I don't have time for those. Well, that's enough Pokemon for me. I'm gonna go play Sonic Superstars or something. Stay spooky. See ya.